All right, guys. We have a new Patreon member. You know, so it's not just three of us. I mean, not just the four of us, it's the five of us. So let me first hold on a second, guys. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. Hold on. All right. So welcome, Mia. Everybody, I just wanted to remind everybody that Patreon will charge you on the first of every month. So Mia, so just watch out for that. I know you did join in the midst of a cycle, so they'll charge you, you know, on the first again. I forgot to tell you, but that's just how Patreon is. They're a cycle on the first of every month, no matter if you come in sometime after that point, you know, they do it on the first. So there's that of every month. Um, so like if you come in on the say the 25th and you just get the cycle, you just get what's remaining of that cycle and then rolled over. Just that's important stuff. You just get that out the way. Cash App if you guys want to. Oh shit, I'm on YouTube, but however you guys want to do. We're gonna get to this meat and potatoes today. So we're talking about how to know higher worlds, and I have the book right here by Rudolf Steiner. Very good book. Pick this up. Now, this video is based upon the concept of this book and everything that it encompasses. This is very important information, especially if you're a very serious occultist, which I believe you guys are because you're back here with me. And you guys know I'm very serious about my work. Okay. What else? I'm gonna get you guys some discount codes for the Etsy shop. So if you'd like to come shop at the Etsy on the Etsy shop and get some stuff or get some for family or however. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving is it's all coming up. So I got some bullet points I'm gonna go over. I got bullet points, but it's just like talking points. I'm just gonna expand upon the bullet point. That's just to help me tap into that thought, that train of thought that goes with it. You guys know me by now. So we're always told that there's nothing new under the sun. We've all, oh yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. But what happens when you say that something like that or that exists as a mantra over and over? Time loop. So you can get stuck in the time loop of prosperity, and it's all subconscious here, which is a good thing. Being prosperous, being successful. The subconscious mind works in symbols, repetition, and trauma. And all trauma is a spike in emotion. So anytime your emotions spike to any degree, you know trauma. So saying that, we've all said it. Oh yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under this sun, but there is something new actually. Really, when you think about it, it's called creation. It's called creation. Creation is creating something new. There are beings here who can only build upon creation, what is created. So for them, there's nothing new. They have to deal with the old shit. But from most, ain't nothing new under the sun. I mean, there is something new under the sun. My fault. Damn. See, it's still stuck. What happens is that you get stuck inside of that time loop, and then guess what? Nothing will be new. It'll all be old shit. So how does this go with creating higher worlds, experiencing higher realms? Well, essentially, we create, and if there was nothing new, then there would be no creation. There would be nothing for those who can create, and for those who can't, it will be even worse. Poof, nothing, for real. So one of the ways that you create a higher world or a different realm over in the astral plane or in other dimensions that you can go to is through art, entertainment and art. So one of the biggest ways, so say you're a musician, okay? You don't have to be the greatest musician. You ain't got to be shit. Just make music, pump it out, yada yada yada. What happens is you're building a musical realm for you to go to experience after you leave this motherfucker. If you're a writer, a screenwriter, you're creating a writing realm, okay, and so forth, and you get the point now. You get it. So you're creating these higher worlds in the astral plane for you to tap in. And since I'm a content creator and I do all, I'm a writer, content creator, I'm creating all these worlds. So then how it's interactive is because I'm a content creator and I'm on this live video right now. What's going to happen is everybody who's ever seen any of my videos is going to create a realm for me. There's a realm I exist in, a realm that they created based upon what they think about me. And this is why hell states exist and heaven states exist. If somebody really, really fucking loves you, they're going to create a heaven state for you, and it's going to be very loving. And you can experience that. Okay, that can be thrust upon you and experience that. That's why some people go to the other side. They're gonna go somewhere and say they didn't actually have something created for themselves, or they did. They just wanted to go to where, say, that heaven realm you created for them based upon how you felt about them. They'll experience that as part of the soul. That goes for the same thing. If somebody hates you, you can experience a hell state, and that's where nightmares come from. And that's the first and second dimension. You know, you just got to get beyond that by being at a higher level, a higher frequency. You know, when you experience those nightmares at that point in time, you're just at a lower level in frequency. It drops somehow, some way. Your frequency goes higher, and however, this is how these realms. But you can create these realms consciously now. Now that you know, even if you're not an artist, say you want to say now you get into art, you can create a music realm. Because remember, this shit is ran off of sound. Universe, one song. Start making meditations. You don't have to be good, but that's one way, and you'll be right there in sync with this whole creation by creating a realm of music. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, okay. you know, so you can exist in other people's realms just like that, because it's just like, how do other people? What do you think about other people? How do they exist in your mind, and how do you exist in theirs? And from those perspectives and point of views, you can either experience certain good or bad, depending on how you perceive it. You know that can determine if you go to a random hell state or not. And these are just dimensions that you can just crawl in and out of. This is essentially quantum tunneling, and quantum leap, quantum jump, quantum tunneling. It's fucking with the quantum at this point. This is high magic, very high magic. You know, Atlantean priest magic. It may not seem like it, but once you get to it, that's why Thoth, he was a scribe. He was the recorder of all things. So he exists any and everywhere. You see? He's the trickster for a reason. That's my homie. He knows, because the Akashic records is just the records of everything, every day, every second, every millisecond. We give this Akashic records like this whole, oh my God, Egypt. There's really no such thing as really past lives, because really you created. It's just something that you created. It's just a creation, a past creation. That's what a past life is. Something that you've already created. And saying that you want to go see that past life, you just want to go see past creations. You just want to see what you have created before. So then maybe it could help you today. It's not past, it's just a past creation. because that's what you're doing in life, is creating. That's the key to all this shit. It's so important. So important. You know? So the real topic upon this is something you've probably heard before if you've heard of the law of attraction community, but this shit is more deeper than that. They only have a little baby piece of it, but we're going to talk about it. Scribing your own path, aka journaling or scripting. So say there's somebody, that loved one, that you want to have in your life, and a past girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or whatever, and you guys fell out or whatever. You can, and this is very high magic, it's simple, re-image that shit and make this shit work for you. And it's called contradictions. So that's a side note. Contradictions can be great. I've talked about contradictions and how they work. The 12-year-old Joe is different than, yesterday was my birthday, so now 29-year-old Joe, just different. I contradict my 12-year-old self highly, and I'm greater for it. It's just what the contradiction is, but you have to make all that shit work for you. You could say something one minute, and the next minute means something totally different, and just make it work for you. So it's like you're always right, because that's how you choose to see it. It's all about you, all about your subconscious mind. We're not taught that. We're not taught that at all. You want to be right? Take where you're wrong and where you're wrong at, and make that shit work for you. He's like, oh yeah, well, I was wrong, but for this reason, blah blah blah, or just make it work for you. Spin it in your favor. Once you start to spin everything in your favor, everything will always be working out for you. And that's a bigger picture of that higher magic. So we're gonna go into it. The whole scripting. So say you have a loved one, like a husband or wife, or past husband or wife, or girlfriend or boyfriend, however, and for some reason you would really like to be with them. For whatever reason, that's your business. Okay? No judgment here. And you're going through things and things just not working, or however, wherever you're at, what you can do, especially before you go to bed, and you can do this for your whole life, but I'm just focusing on one situation. You can write a short story. Okay? Get to that creative mind, that childlike mind, and create a story where it works out between you two. Now, remember when I talked about hypersigils and supersigils? So create a sigil. We're going to talk about that. So this is chaos magic now. So create a sigil based upon a line, like a line, like a term, or a sentence that has to do with that manifestation. So everything is working out with blah 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 blah. We are happy. You then take out all the vowels. Now this is just a simplistic way of doing a sigil. The ancient way. What you do is you take out all the vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and then you go and take out all the repeating letters. So if there's multiple S's, you just take out the S and leave just the one S, or you can take out all S's because there's repeating, but you can just take it until there's just one S, or however, if you find there's repeating letters, take all the repeating letters out and just leave that original letter. And then you're left with this random pile. It looks subconscious already. And then you just start constructing it until it looks magical. Construct it into a picture until it looks like a sigil, where it just looks fucking magical. Okay? Now you have the sigil that's going to be tied to this story. Okay? In the story, everything works out between you two, or it could be a subliminal story where the characters aren't necessarily named after you and them, but they're modeled after you. This whole thing is modeled after you and your relate. You tie that intention to it, and then boom, and then what you do then and there, you've got the sigil. Um, this is chaos magic. We're gonna, so this is water, fire. You can, throw it down, take the sigil, and leave it somewhere. Like create two of them, burn one of them, burn one of them or throw one down the toilet because we're dealing with fire/water magic here. Well, actually, no, we're dealing with all air, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So, however you would like to dispose of that, keep one around you, like tape it up somewhere on your door or wall, somewhere where you walk all the time. And it's just gonna throw back into the subconscious mind, or you just create one sigil and you tie it to that story. So maybe like the next step is after you get the story done and you've got the sigil, and say you have a blog. If not, create a WordPress blog. It's not that hard to set up. It might take you an hour. I have one. It didn't take me that long to set up. Some videos on it, and then boom, take that sigil and let that sigil take a picture of it. Let that sigil be the picture of like your picture, or put it somewhere on that web page that is now your blog, and then type that shit out on your blog, and then link it to people, show them. Now you created this little super sigil, hyper sigil. You've hyperalized it, and then now the story alone is going to get you into that time frame, because there is a time frame where it works out between you two. See, this is high level fucking magic. This is why I'm throwing this on Patreon and not regular YouTube, because this isn't for the masses unless Spirit tells me to drop it on YouTube, which I'm prepared to do, you know, whenever, necessary. But then boom, now you've created a wormhole, a womb for this shit to move through, the energy to move through. And now, you read the story from time to time. It's up. People can view it. You're linking it to people, but and you just keep writing. You just keep imagining your life. So then you tie that piece of that that story to however else other stories on your blog that you write about your life. You can go with a prosperity story if you're needing money and you don't want to ever have to worry about money. You write a story in which you become very prosperous and successful to where you never really have to need or want for money again. You're doing that thing you always would do if money wasn't an object. Starting that business, doing this, doing that. Now, what you're doing is you're creating a timeline, a time loop for yourself to experience. You're setting yourself up for success of whatever you desire. High level magic here, guys. And so you'll start to see that story is going to start to take shape. Now, Grant Morrison um, he has familiarized and popularized chaos magic in the form, the super sigil, the hyper sigil, and he wrote a comic book called The Invisibles. Okay, so this comic book he created called The Invisibles. He basically he did the sigil for it. Like I said, the little sentence, and then did everything he needed to do, and then he created it and etched it into his comic book. He created Grant Morrison created Batman, so he's pretty prolific. He's stoic as fuck. But chaos, very well known chaos magician. But this is his first piece of work, The Invisibles. He wrote The Invisibles, and the main character, he said, oh, he has a bald head, so he gave the main character a bald head. He tied that main character to himself, quantum entangled. He basically, with intention, tied that character to himself. If that was him in a different realm, and we're gonna get there. We're getting there. Portals. And he started going through trials and tribulations as this character was. His character he put through trials and tribulations, almost died. Had punctured lungs, was in the hospital with a punctured lung, going through shit. And next thing you know, lo and behold, he's in the hospital with a fucking punctured lung and this, that, and the third. It was a lesson learned for him. He didn't shy away from, this. He realized, oh, if I can do this, then I can write my story in which things I want to actually experience, things I dream about. I dream a genie. And it's important that you have to see it as all happening now. Because what's happening is you have these motherfuckers in Hollywood and these other spirits and other different things out here tapping into your dreams and stealing them on some Freddy Krueger shit. Because a lot of times we sit there, and I've done it as well. It's like you ever, been like dreaming of something, of doing something, and it was prolific and blah blah blah, and then you look and it's somewhere out there in Hollywood, and you had been dreaming of this shit for years, and you're like, oh, maybe someone else just, thought of the same thing that I didn't know. They stole that shit from you, probably. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's why the CIA remote views people. They're stealing their dreams because they know, oh, what this motherfucker is dreaming about is actually happening now. So I'm going to go and siphon that from them, and which is siphoning their imagination, aka stealing their soul. You get me? And now they're all spirit oriented once you do it enough, because you've dampened their soul, and you've taken from their soul essence and used it for your own bidding. Not to say that you guys have done that, but that's what's going on. So know that all this shit is happening now. See it as now. Don't see it in the future. See it now. Now, success now, prosperity now, love now. High level magicianry, high level sorcery. So this is going to be something that on the something that we'll all do if you guys would like. I'll take a poll on I'll take a poll or see if I can do that and see you guys just interact with it and see what you guys want to do and how you guys want to do it. We all have things that we want to do. If you want to get out of your job and stop working all those gruesome hours and just to make ends meet, this is something like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? And that's what I asked myself. And me and my friend Gail, I've talked about her on the channel. We were talking about all this whole channel today. We were going back and forth, tit for tat. So this is where this is coming from. We are always figuring this shit out together. And I come and I put the message out, and then she puts hers out on Instagram. We're working both platforms beautifully. So some solutions to this shit is if you examine your life and there's nothing you would tweak, like I don't like this job, I want a better job, or what's my ideal job, or do I want to start that business, yada yada yada. You write the blueprint for it, and then you put in the work. You write the blueprint, the story, you attach certain things to it, the sigil, and then you figure out like some small things that you can do to work towards it, and watch everything else be filled in. Your higher self is going to give you everything you need to for that journey. And then as you see that one little thing that that one little thing, it could be anything. I would say start small. Start small with the script, with the writing of the timeline. You're fucking with time now. Shit. That's high level sorcery, y'all. I don't know if y'all get that, but come on. You start fucking with it on that level. And then boom. Then you can see how you can change your life and mold it into the way that you want, and stop living someone else's life, working 40 hours a week or this or that. Now you're, say, working from home, you have more time with your children, your business is successful. If you have a business, write it being successful, and you're tired of it and not getting customers and different things like that. There are things you can do. Start pouring libations to your business. Like with me, there are things that I need to do. Maybe so it's like I need to go and get some supplies. I need to get ink for my printer. So then now I can go start printing out labels. And you see what ink I need, so I can print out labels and fill up bottles with elixirs and tinctures, because none are filled up. I usually just do it based on per order. But if I just put that energy into my business and do that, now I've giving it attention because I'm feeding that entity. Because your business is an entity. These timelines are spirits or entities, and you must feed it. And you must feed them for them to really work for you. But no, this is powerful stuff, so it will happen. And you can change your life, and you can do it. There's so many mad king things that you could do with this shit. It could so many fucked up things that you could do. How motherfuckers tie themselves to another motherfucker's story and steal their whole identity. Fucking Hollywood shit, man. It's all, this is high level sorcery, you know? So, other solutions, you start creating with the story, pouring libations, feeding the spirits, being more creative, just embracing your creativity. Go get some crayons or something and color like you did in fucking kindergarten. Just do shit like that. And then you'll start to create and tap into what you really want to do, whatever your art is. Flip fucking tarot cards till, you can't no more. And now you're creating your own deck. Boom. And then you tie that world that you want to create to that deck. Boom. And so many different things you can do, tying prosperity to it. So not only when people buy it, that's prosperity in abundance, but now you're tying that to that. So it's like double. Boom. That's how we do this shit. So I just wanted to come on and give you guys a live. I owed you that. I love y'all. Just know we're gonna turn it up a notch here on Patreon. Mia, we're gonna have some stuff to do on the $40 tier because that's where she is. So there's a little bit more that comes with that now that I have someone there. So we'll be doing courses. I will have some free courses and different things on Thinkific that I will link here that I'm working on. More meditations to come for everyone, and just doing what we do. So remember to drink water, remember to breathe. Remember, if you want to change your life, it's now. Their time is up, our time is now. I love you guys. Peace.